Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. My goodness. Kind of a messy opening here. All right, knock, knock, knock. Let's see. And it totally matches in the bowl because look at this. I have a lot of leaves all over the place. All right. So our card for tonight is the High Priestess. And this is a sign of knowing, of wisdom, of initiation, of that interior travel. Really, really having that kind of, that thing that just awakens in you, that pulls you into the continued unknown, the mystery. You start to notice things in your life that you kind of just took for granted. You start to see maybe patterns and signs and symbols and think, has that always been there, or is it just now showing itself to me? So let's see what we have here today in the bowl. And we have TT. We have TT back here singing a song. All right. Okay, so where should we start? Here we have, it looks like a flamingo. Okay. And to me, the flamingo, one of the beautiful, large, contemplative birds, always reminds me that we kind of take on that which we immerse ourselves in. Because the flamingo, if you don't know, it is pink because of the fish it eats. It really takes in the coloring from something that it is digesting. I think that they're actually white. I don't know exactly. I know that I've looked up what does a flamingo look like with, when it's not pink. But I believe that they're white. I can't remember now. But if you've never seen this, go look them up. But as a symbol, really it is just that. Being very mindful and discerning about the energy that you let around yourself, what you let into your life, what you bring into your sacred spaces, into your home, into your personal life, who you share your time and your mythologies with, right? Not everybody needs access to you. Not everybody needs to know everything about you or, be able to hold court with you. This should be, for the most part, left to the people who you feel add to your life, right? Who you feel connection with, who you are devoted to. Okay, so I see it in the center, and I think that this is maybe a reminder that we all kind of need right now, right? And I say that because I am a solar Virgo, as some of you already know. And so a good reminder. I also feel like just because of all these, we're not looking at one big symbol tonight. We have a bunch of little stuff. There is a sense of chaos, maybe some anxiety, It feels like life is really busy right now. You have so many things going on. You're being pulled in a lot of directions. Okay, so we're going to figure out how can we get this kind of all a little bit more orderly, getting you back to feeling whole again, you know, able to manage things. I know this is a big deal for us Virgos. We need to feel like we have a plan, right? Okay, so, let's see. It looks like we also have another flamingo right here. Okay, so I really wonder, who is this that is kind of affecting your life? I think that even as I'm saying this, you already know who I'm talking about. And I feel like because it is being mirrored here, it really is something to kind of consider. Like, is this person adding to all the stress? Are they actually kind of the reason that everything is so, oh, hi. The reason that everything is kind of so scattered here. And TT has just jumped on me to say hello. Okay. You might hear her purring even. Okay, so we have... I want to look at the S, and we have, it looks like an O. So, I don't know. Is it significant other? That's the first thing that came to mind. It could also be the beginning of a name. It could be initials. It could be just you saying, so what? All right, TT, you got to jump down. Go on. I can't have you on my shoulder while I'm doing a reading, my love. Okay, so I have this little, it looks like a little person right here, a little figure of a being here. Their hair is kind of blowing, and then we have the moon here, right? And so I feel, and this makes sense to me because we are coming up on the new moon here in just a couple days. And I have to say for myself, yeah, the full moon definitely affects me, but the new moon, nothing affects me like the new moon. So this is definitely new moon energy to me. I am wondering what is going to be in store for us. I see up here we have this mushroom growing, and I feel like, have you ever been up early in the morning? Even maybe just, you know, just before the sun really starts to rise. And you go out into the yard. I'm often out there to water, and the grass is kind of real dewy and wet, and there are all these little mushrooms. They're very dainty, and as soon as the sun really comes up, they kind of disappear. And I always like to think that sometimes I get a peek at these beautiful little beings. They've been having a meeting at night. They all come together and commune with one another, and they stay up a little bit too late, and the sun starts coming up, and then they get caught, they get witnessed, right? And so I feel like in this next little period of time, you are really going to have some interesting, creative, kind of just mental breakthroughs in the evening after the sun goes down. Now, maybe you go to bed early, so this might be in your dream life, but maybe you stay up late. I don't know. Maybe a good time, if you have a few moments, sit down and kind of just doodle, maybe draw some little pictures, make a list. Virgos love making lists, right? So maybe make a little list, or do, which is one of my favorite things, kind of a stream of consciousness kind of writing, where you just, doesn't matter if it makes sense or not, you just kind of put your ideas together, even one word to the next. What does the word make you think of? So here we can do, I'll show you, or I'll talk you through a little example. We could do mushroom, and then maybe moon, and then fox, and then sly, and then cookie. Slyly getting a cookie. Whatever it is. You know, so maybe this is an interesting technique to kind of just expand some of your creative ideas, potentials, but also it's fun to kind of look back on them and think, well, these are the things that are kind of floating around in your psyche. You're kind of going in there and picking things out, and you know, they might not make sense right now, but down the road a little bit, you might look and think, oh wow, I was like kind of manifesting this stuff without even realizing it. It was emerging from my psyche, and here I already knew before I knew, right? Okay, well, let's see what is next. We have all these little scenarios going on here. Okay, so this one's interesting to me. I see kind of a person that looks like they're dancing over a fire right here. And then over here, I see a little flower kind of sprouting out of a mound. Okay, so I feel like you are very in touch with this, not just high priestess, but any kind of you know, holy person, a sacred devotee, a shaman, somebody who kind of partakes in acting out rituals in the physical plane, right? And I wonder if this is maybe not you, or you actually have kind of this sneaking kind of tickling little desire, right, to maybe create your own rituals, your own ceremonies. I know for me, I have kind of a hard time. I see, you know, I love studying about religion, spirituality, and I always kind of think there's always this kind of gap, almost like a chasm between me and people who practice whatever it is that whatever system. Okay, I think like that's so beautiful. I love seeing people in their grace, in their worship, but I don't necessarily, I've never really thought, oh, I could actually be the person involved in that. I don't know why. It just is. I always feel like somebody, kind of an outsider looking in, right? But at some point, I started to realize, you know, I myself can construct my own sacred things, my own sacred objects, my own sacred activities, ceremonies, festivals, feasts, you know, holidays, all these things. I myself don't need to follow anything. Now, do I, you know, kind of, obviously, I am inspired by a lot of different things, and I do also like to partake in some of the more established holidays and so on. But it is such a beautiful feeling to realize that all of that that spiritual whatever sustenance, that divine and cosmic intelligence, that flowing love that is found in all of these systems, that flows through all of us, right? And it is obtainable in any way that you find your passion, right? So I think that this is an interesting symbol, and it also makes me believe that you have an interest in, well, either going and maybe observing, maybe getting involved in, you know, some kind of religious gathering or ceremony, occult, spiritual, whatever it is. Or, like I said, creating your own. Just start doing it. I've said this in other readings. Sometimes for me, it felt like, almost like it was like role playing, right? I couldn't get past this feeling that I was just pretending to do things. It didn't really, I had a lot of trouble getting into it mentally. You know, mind, body, and spirit are kind of all aligned. And I think it's just, you know, for me, I just felt so inhibited all the time. Self-conscious. I didn't know what I was looking for. I'm reading books, watching videos, thinking, okay, I gotta look for these specific details to figure out, okay, this verifies that this is going right. And it was all too much for me. It became so, you know, so complicated that I think I just came down on myself a lot. I can't do this. This isn't, you know, this is for other people, not for me. And I think once I let go of any kind of expectation and just started doing things that felt magical to me, and I realized a lot of that is, like, for me, out in the garden, witnessing things. When I see something beautiful, when I see something that feels like it should be secret, right? I glimpse into the world of, you know, the bugs or something, and I feel so connected. And I realize, you know, we find our inspiration all over the place. There's no right way, no wrong way. Okay, so I feel that this really has to do a lot with that high priestess energy. But I also think that, you know, as a Virgo, you are just so creative. You love to create your own systems, your own practices, relate to things in a way that feels authentic to you. Okay, so sometimes we just overthink things. We just try too hard to set it up in a way that doesn't necessarily work for us. And that can be frustrating. So here I am to tell you, let go of that. Don't worry about that. Just go off of your intuition, off of your feeling. And, you know, that I think all of that is exactly how we find something that is lasting, right? Okay, so we have this figure. It looks not unlike a kind of primordial goddess figure here. And we have now the sun, which is, you know, a beautiful contrast to the little figure we saw down here with that new moon energy. So I do feel that we are coming into a place of illumination, kind of walking into the light, feeling like we have, you know, there has been a revelation of some kind. So there is a wholeness here. There is a sense of confidence and understanding. And I feel that as you kind of work through some of this stuff, you kind of do some playful exploration, you're going to feel like, okay, yeah, this is like, I'm going the right way. This is how, you know, how things kind of should feel for me. Like, I feel like this is something I can sustain, right? Something that comes naturally, doesn't feel like a chore, right? And that is a beautiful, beautiful feeling, definitely. Okay, so we also have a little boat here, and underneath it, it looks like we have some sea creatures, some kind of fish. So I feel like you probably will be going on some kind of little trip, And I feel like this, for some reason, is going to be lucrative to you in some way. Either you are making resources, financial resources, maybe you are building some emotional, creative, spiritual resources, going to see beautiful things, taking a break, recharging. And I think just a sense of getting away from all of this kind of anxiety feelings. I think that whatever's been going, whatever is going on, it's more of a perception of chaos than actual chaos. I think that you just sometimes get overbooked, overwhelmed. You don't know how you're going to get every single thing done. And, sometimes it's hard to come to a stopping point as a person that wants to kind of complete every little thing. So I think this break, whatever the break is for, I think that it's going to be really important for you to kind of do that recharge. And also probably just go see something fun, beautiful, whatever it is you are doing, being with family, being with friends, maybe being by yourself. Okay, so let's see, we have a person who is kind of gazing upwards, and let's see, what is going on up there? It almost looks like a person gazing upwards, and we have, it looks like somebody kind of laying here and looking up, and I almost wonder, it kind of makes me think of, have you ever had a dream within a dream where you wake up and you think, wow, that was a weird dream, and you're like, kind of getting out of that feeling of whatever dream you were in, and then something strange happens and you think, am I still dreaming? And then you wake up again and you're like, oh, I woke up in my dream. Am I still dreaming right now? And so I feel like there's kind of this feeling of being in that in-between state. Now, maybe it is not actually like a dream within a dream, but I feel like in your waking life, there is a lingering sense of a heavy dream state. Okay, so maybe you are overly tired, but more than that, I think that whatever is going on kind of in those spiritual realms that are coming through in your dreams, it's coming over with you into the mornings or whenever you wake up. It is kind of, you're bringing it into the waking world, and kind of just, there's like that feeling of residue. Okay, so if this is a good feeling, then, go with it. If it is something that you find stressful or kind of uncomfortable, I would say that, something that is shocking to your body, like a cold shower, maybe going swimming, doing some kind of exercise, or I should say intentional movement. Okay. Something that kind of just gets you out of that feeling. You focus on something that is really, really based in the physical, kind of get your system working a little harder, especially with like a cooler shower. That kind of changes your body temperature, and you can't help but really notice, that you're feeling quite different. And then the next thing you know, you're not thinking about how you're feeling from your dreams. Okay. And now I want to, I have these cards. They are gratitude cards from Lorraine Anderson. I just got them. They're the little deck of appreciation. And I want to kind of, I've been incorporating them in the cycle of readings. I'm just going to pick one and we're going to read it and kind of think, how does this maybe tie to what we're talking about? Okay, so we have this beautiful being here with the antlers, kind of a very forest deity vibe. Okay, we're gonna turn it, and it says, love your body, say a prayer of thanks to your body for its hard work. Okay, so kind of a message of body positivity. You know, this one can be difficult for some of us, not just, you know, as far as, you know, aesthetically, or even just kind of how our body feels. But, you know, sometimes we have things like chronic pain, you know, we just have dysmorphic things, whatever. And this can be hard. So I'm not going to push this one too much. I know that we're all at different places with that. But I think that, you know, just how I would approach this myself is just kind of thanking the universe for existing, at least for today, right? Being a being with consciousness that is existing in a material state, right? Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and thank you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And we all know the algorithm kind of decides everything. So we like to do things that make it happy. If you, well, which is engagement, right? If you like the video, if you watch the video all the way through from the beginning to the end, share the video on other social medias, kind of watch all of your placements. Of course, you don't have to do any of these things, but I like to mention them so you know if you want to support the channel in that way. And of course, if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can go ahead and hit that little bell as well, and it will let you know when the next videos are coming out. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, I read every single one of them, and I try to get back to them as soon as I can. Sometimes it takes me a day or two because I like to reply to each and every one of them. And you know, I also just really like to read them and feel them, and you know, enjoy the energy that we're all kind of sharing with each other. I really am so appreciative of the community that is emerging in this channel, and getting to know some of you has been such a pleasure, and I look forward to getting to know you better, and you know, all the people that are arriving now. So thank you for spending this time with me again, and we'll talk in just a few days.